The crowd went silent the moment the little girl opened her mouth. No microphone, no music, just a broken guitar, and a voice strong enough to stop an entire TV show. But to understand how she got there, we need to go back a few hours. Kesha Williams, a 9-year-old girl living on the streets, had been picked by producers from Stars of America, not to win, but to be laughed at. She arrived backstage barefoot, holding a broken guitar she had found in the trash weeks earlier. The producer, Richard Brennan, looked at her with a smirk. "Kid, you're not here to shine. You're here to make the audience laugh." Kesha didn't get angry. She simply adjusted her loose guitar strings and said calmly, "I understand, sir." But inside, she knew this would be the last time someone underestimated her. While the other kids were treated like celebrities, snacks, makeup, warm-ups, Kesha sat alone on the floor. When she approached the snack table, an assistant pushed her away. "These snacks are for the real participants," the woman said. Another girl named Ashley, rich and confident, pointed at Kesha and asked her dad, "Why is that girl here?" "So you can shine brighter," he whispered. Kesha heard everything. Still, she kept her calm. What no one knew was that Kesha carried a secret. Inside her torn backpack was a letter from her grandmother, Dorothy Williams, the woman who had raised her until she died 3 years earlier. Dorothy wasn't just a regular gospel singer. She was one of the first Black women to graduate from Juilliard in the 1960s, and she had been the mentor of James Mitchell, now the CEO of the entire TV network. Kesha had never met him, but he knew her grandmother well, and he was there that night. He saw Kesha from across the room and walked over. "What is your full name?" he asked gently. "Kesha Dorothy Williams," she answered. The moment he heard that middle name, his eyes filled with tears. "Dorothy was like a mother to me," he whispered. "Where have you been?" "On the streets," Kesha replied. When he learned how the producers planned to humiliate her, he wanted to stop everything. But Kesha shook her head. "I don't want you to interfere," she said. "Just record everything." James finally understood this girl wasn't weak. She was planning something powerful. Soon, Richard called her to the stage. "Come on, kid," he said with a cruel smile. "Entertain us." Kesha walked into the bright lights, holding her broken guitar like it was made of gold. "My name is Kesha Dorothy Williams," she said into the microphone. "This song is for my grandmother." Richard signaled his team. A loud static noise blasted through the speakers, on purpose. The audience winced. Some started laughing, thinking Kesha was the problem. "We'll have to end it here," Richard shouted. But Kesha didn't stop. She stepped away from the microphone, lifted her chin, and began to sing with her bare voice. Her voice filled the entire auditorium, clear, strong, beautiful, powerful. People who had been laughing seconds earlier now stood frozen, jaws open. Even the musicians in the audience looked stunned. When she finished, there was silence. Then, a booming standing ovation, the loudest the show had ever heard. At that moment, James walked onto the stage. "Ladies and gentlemen," he said, "you need to know who this child really is." He revealed everything, her grandmother Dorothy. The Juilliard connection, the producers' plan to humiliate her, the footage they recorded, the cruel comments backstage, the deliberate sabotage. Then he pointed at Richard. "Richard Brennan, you're fired." The audience erupted in anger. Security escorted Richard out as cameras recorded everything live. Kesha stood calmly in the middle of the stage, her broken guitar in her hands. "Your grandmother would be proud of you," James told her. "She said talent is our secret weapon," Kesha replied. "And the best answer to prejudice is excellence." Within weeks, the clip of Kesha singing went viral. James created the Dorothy Williams Scholarship Program in her grandmother's honor. Kesha became its first student, and James and his wife later adopted her, giving her the home she never had. Within a year, she performed at Carnegie Hall. Millions watched. Her story changed the entire TV network forever. And the biggest lesson she taught the world was simple. Never underestimate someone because of where they come from. True talent needs only one moment to shine and rewrite every rule.